welcome to Ian HRP on YouTube, and welcome to today's video where we will be looking at the Panasonic 45 to 150mm HD lens. It is the equivalent of a 80 to 300mm lens, and it's f4 to 5.6, f4 basically being at 45mm, and then anything past that is 5.6. But not a bad one. A lot of lenses like this tend to be f5.6 to 6.4, even f8s sometimes. So yeah, it's not a bad f-stop range. This is a trilogy of lenses I brought to go with the GX8 for video work mainly. So I've got the 14mm little wide angle lens and then the 25mm nifty 50 equivalent. I've released videos for those two. They'll be down below, or click on the buttons up there. If I remember to do that. I say click on there and then I forget to put it in the cards. Anyway, you're not bothered about that, are you? You're more interested in this video for this particular lens. So what are we? So we are a 45 to 150mm lens, which is the equivalent of 80 to 300mm in full frame terms. Again, I'm not going to get into the arguments of that. A lot of people just say, well, it's not really. It is. Just think of it as the equivalent. Basically, micro four thirds, double the focal length, that's your full frame equivalent. So yeah, it is a 80 to 300mm lens in a nice, compact, small little body. And gives surprisingly good image results as well. I'll show you some images and video from this later on. But surprisingly, a really nice lens. So let's have a closer look at the lens. So before I carry on with the review of this particular lens, I just wanted to remind you I've got a brand new podcast out called the As Yet Unnamed Podcast. We speak to interesting people I think are interesting, and hopefully you will as well. So far we've had Joe Lycett, we've had Lucas McFarlane, Edmund Terracopian, Richard Hadman from Collabro and BGT, and lots of other very interesting conversations coming up with people you may not know. Covers a wide spectrum of stuff from photography, business, life, career, sexuality coming out, all that sort of stuff. You can watch the podcast using the link below, and you can also listen to the podcast on any of the podcast apps you have. So Google, Apple, Spotify, Soundcast, Anchor, all of the main ones, the podcast is on there. So use the link down below, and why not have a listen to the As Yet Unnamed podcast from myself, and enjoy. Thank you. Let's get on with the review. I look away as if I'm going to do something. I'm actually not. The PC is there. It's not even on. Anyway, carry on with the review here. Okay, thanks. The 45 to 150mm lens again comes with a nice lens hood on there. And then again, we are actually we slightly changed. We are a 52mm thread on this one if you want to get a filter for that. This lens does protrude. So when you zoom, there is no movement in the front of the lens, which is always good if you've got polarizing filters, etc. on there. So the front of the lens doesn't move as you zoom in and out. On the back, we have a metal mount, no weather sealing on here either. None of these are weather sealed. This does have, though, a metal and plastic build. So it's a mix of both. This bit here is definitely metal. And then the two rings on here, you have your zoom ring, and then you have your focus ring at the front as well if you want to do manual focus on there. And there you have it with the included lens hood. So let's have a look at some images then shot using the 45 to 150mm lens. So this first image is shot through a window, hence the reason you can see the slight white bits of the panel. I couldn't open the window because I would have scared the bird away. So this is shot at 45mm f4 at 200 ISO, and then the next image shows you the zoom. So that is at 45mm. That is at 150 at f5.6. And as you can see, you're still getting very good detail on the feathers, etc. Even when you're pulled in all the way, and then nice little stretch there. This is again at 150mm ISO 320, and this has been cropped down, so from the original image there through to the cropped image to get you even closer. So it gives you very good and very usable picture quality. And what I do like about micro four thirds lenses in general, particularly the zoom lenses, So what I do like about the Micro Four Thirds lenses in general, and particularly the zoom lenses, is they have a very short focal length, focal distance, compared to full frame cameras. So this is taken at 150 millimeters. I was probably about 45 centimeters away from the subject, and even at f5.6, because you're on the full end of the zoom, you get nice separation from the background and the foreground as well. Another example of the zoom, so this is at 45 millimeter, and then we go to 150, 300 equivalent. So you can get the tree full frame, one of my favorite trees. It's a lone tree. I always take photos of that. And again, 150, 5.6, and really nice detail of this cow. It just works really well, and you also get the blur background even at 5.6. And again, close focusing. Nice blurry background, nice separation of the image. And then just one more example of the zoom. So this is 45 millimeter, and that takes you up to 150. So a very versatile lens when you're out and about. So you can get fairly wide images and you can get fairly close images. So yeah, a nice travel lens. And then again, another example of the close-up with really nice separation of this buttercup and what was once a buttercup. But again, the background is really nice and blurred. So yeah, overall, really happy with the image results. So my final thoughts on the 45 to 150 millimeter lens for the Panasonic cameras, or Micro Four Thirds cameras. It's not bad. I haven't used this for what I brought it for, which is basically motorsport video, mainly because we haven't been able to get into any motorsport over the last couple of months because of you know what. But it's a nice quality lens, and I'm looking forward to actually giving it a proper test in what I wanted it for and why I brought it. But it's a nice compact size. So basically I can go from 14mm to a 50mm to a 300mm in a lens combination that's the three lenses I brought for this camera. But obviously they also work with the EM1 if I want to take them out with that as well. It does have image stabilization within it, which is useful when you're filming 4K, because this particular camera doesn't have 4K stabilization. It only goes to stabilization up to 1080p, which is slightly annoying, but we will see. So yeah, I'm looking forward to giving this a proper test on what I wanted it for, but early impressions of it are really quite good actually. I'm quite impressed with that. So thank you for watching this video today. I hope you've enjoyed it and found it of interest. If you've got any comments, leave them down below as well. And also down below in the more information stuff, you'll find links to my brand new podcast, the As Yet Unnamed podcast. You can listen to that. It's out every Monday morning, 6 AM. You can listen and watch down below. So if you could, that'd be great. If you don't want to, fair enough. So why not click on like, comment and share, and subscribe as well. Click on the notification bar so you get the next video we release. And until that time, thank you so much for watching. I have been Ian HRP, and bye for now. That hand movement's going. Bye for now. Bye for now. Roy away. That's just really camp. I won't put that in.